Hey y'all, cooking, cutting up, keeping it real. This afternoon in my kitchen, I'm gonna bake a lemon cream cheese pound cake, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do that start to finish. So I'm gonna tilt this down so y'all can see what I'm doing. And what I wanna do first is I want to get my pan ready. So I use Crisco to do that. And I have found that it gives you a more chewy crust if you use Crisco. So I'm just gonna use a napkin and dig out some Crisco, and I'm gonna rub that all inside of this pan evenly and get every bit of it covered so that when it's all done, the pound cake comes out without tearing. Now, some folks are intimidated by making a pound cake. Pound cakes are one of those cakes, in my opinion, that you have to kind of make them a lot and practice to get them just like you like them. So I have made my share in my day and continue to do so. I'm going to add just a little bit more Crisco, and then I'm going to follow the Crisco with a light dusting of flour. Get my hands away. Now, and I am just gonna pour about 3 tablespoons or so of flour in my pan, and I'll move that around just by kind of tapping my pan. And then I go over my sink and finish that out, and then dump the excess out so that it looks like that. We'll set this aside. So what I want to do first is measure all of my dry ingredients. And I'm going to sift this flour. You can choose to use cake flour, but you don't have to. I'm using all-purpose flour today. So we're going to measure out 3 cups of flour. And make sure, especially with baking, you want to make sure everything is just so that you can duplicate the recipe. That's 1. Two, and I'm gonna sift a little bit because my sifter won't hold 3 full cups. So let me sift some down. Third cup. Okay, to this dry mixture, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Not baking soda, but baking powder. And I'm going to continue to sift that until it's sifted through. I have my oven preheating at 325 degrees. If you use cake flour, you can skip the sifting. Okay, I'm going to set this to the side. Okay, now what we're going to do next is, let me get rid of this and pull my mixer over. A lot of people ask me about my mixer. These are stickers that I got from Amazon years ago, and just put them on there. Let me put my beater in and get it ready. Now, I am going to start by creaming the sugar, the butter, the cream cheese, and half a stick of butter flavored Crisco, which is actually half cup, okay? So I'm gonna put in half a stick butter flavored Crisco. Everything's at room temperature. I'm gonna add 2 sticks of butter. Which would actually be 1 cup of butter. Is that right? Yes. Because 8 tablespoons equals a half cup. So 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks at room temperature. And then I'm gonna add 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. Now there are lots of different renditions of pound cake. This just happens to be mine, and it's been one that I have used for years and years, and I get many, many, many compliments on it. Some people use a cup of milk instead of the cream cheese. I choose the cream cheese because I think it gives it a whole nother texture, and I think it gives it an extra flavor and moistness to the cake. Okay, now I'm gonna add to that 3 cups of white granulated sugar. And I'm gonna give this a moment to blend very well, okay? So I'm gonna cut that on, but I'm gonna talk louder. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go ahead and crack my eggs while that's blending. The recipe calls for 6 large eggs. I happen to have double yolked eggs that a friend gave me, and they make great pound cakes. They were fresh off of a farm, so don't get confused. I'm gonna use 5 because they're double yolked. The recipe is 6 eggs, regular, large eggs, okay? So I'm gonna crack those, and while I'm cracking, I'm gonna turn that up so it'll blend good. You always want to crack your eggs into another dish to make sure you don't get any unwanted shells. Set this to the side. Okay, now to this, I'm going to add 1 egg at a time. You want to mix well after each egg that you add. I'm just going to push this down. Actually, I will turn this off and push the sides down. Okay. Now, again, add your eggs 1 at a time, mix them well to get them blended in between each egg. Almost there. Last one. Okay, I'm gonna let that blend while I get my flavorings ready. Now to this, and flavorings can be different. If you're making a lemon pound cake, you'll need extra lemon extract. So to this, I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of lemon extract and 2 teaspoons of vanilla bean paste or vanilla extract, whichever you have. I choose vanilla bean paste when I'm baking. It just gives it a richer flavor. There's the lemon. And here's the vanilla bean paste. Okay. Now, I'm going to continue to mix that until all of that's blended. I'm going to push it down one more time with this spatula. It's coming together nicely. Okay. Now, let me give that a few minutes to mix up. Not literally. And then I'm gonna add my dry mixture half at a time. So I added half of that, and I'm gonna let this mix together. You want it to blend well. And then I'm gonna add the rest of the dry mixture. Okay, I'm going to scrape the sides again, and then I'm going to let it mix for a minute, and I'm going to kind of tidy up a little bit while it's mixing. Okay. All right, while that's mixing, I'll repeat what we've done so far. We have sifted 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt. Set that to the side. Then we cracked 6 large eggs. I used 5 because I have double yolked eggs, just happened to. Put those to the side. Then we put into the mixing bowl half a stick of a butter flavored Crisco stick, 2 sticks of butter at room temperature. Your eggs need to be at room temperature as well. And 8 ounces of cream cheese. We blended that with 3 cups of white granulated sugar. We added in our dry ingredients half at a time. After, we put our eggs in one at a time and blended well after each additional egg. Then the flour mixture goes in half at a time, and then you want to get it blended really well. Put your flavorings in, which we did. This looks pretty good. Now, I'm going to pour this batter into my Crisco greased pan, greased and flour pan. Get all that off that I can. And grab my pan here. And this cake is going into a 325-degree oven for 70 minutes. So 1 hour and 10 minutes on 325. Stay with me, because I just happened to have baked another one before I did this video so that you can see the end product, since I was baking 2 anyway. And one of these is going in the freezer, and we're going to eat the other. That's the nice thing about a pound cake, is that if you wrap it well in tin foil, it is great to freeze. Sometimes I think it even locks moisture in it once you freeze it. And I have done that many, many times. Especially if you need one for an occasion and you're not going to be at home to do it. I'm just going to pop that down a few times. Put this in the oven. Set my timer. Okay, now I want to show you very quickly the way that I mix up the lemon drizzle. I am going to zest a full lemon, a whole lemon. And this is what I pour over the cake when it's hot, when I get it out of the oven. I get it on my plate, and then this goes over the top. So I'm zesting a whole lemon, and then I'm gonna juice the whole lemon. If you don't like lemon, leave the lemon out. Just do vanilla, your vanilla extract. And then you can just do powdered sugar and a little bit of warm water as your drizzle. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm gonna cut this lemon in half. And carefully, I'm gonna hold it up like this so I can catch the seeds. I'm going to squeeze all the juice out. Give my hands a rinse. Okay, and to this, I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons at a time of powdered sugar. And as I add it, I'm gonna stir this. And I'll show you the consistency. You want it to be kind of like Elmer's glue. Now, let me show you the consistency of it. Okay, that's it. Now I'm gonna set that to the side for the pound cake that's coming out of the oven. Meanwhile, let me show you the finished product. Ta-da! Lemon pound cake with the drizzle. Let's cut a piece. Mine's still warm. And there you have it. Lemon cream cheese pound cake. No sad streaks. Delicious, hands down. Eat it by itself, put some strawberries over it. Can't go wrong. I hope y'all have enjoyed that. Give it a try. And hopefully I have been, detailed enough that I answered any questions that you might have. Check it out. See y'all.